I saw a lot of people cheering online the other day saying Kotaku is over. They got bought by some new company. But the problem is they are literally keeping the editorial staff, hiring more talent to kind of do the same thing. And this is the access media, right? Kotaku is everything that is wrong with the media in every single way. It's not going to change. And I'm just going to show you just the absolute state of Kotaku in just a moment. We're going to just get into this and kind of show you how these media sites work and just why they're pretty functionally useless at this point. And that's actually why we're building a major alternative here, which has been doing fantastic. Thanks to you guys supporting us. Please hit the like and subscribe button and join us here as we talk about all things in the media. A lot of people were asking, did something happen to your YouTube channel? And no, nothing happened. I was just up at Lake Tahoe for the last few days. And I just ran out of time to do stuff at the same time. I took like 2 days off for the first time. I can't even remember how long. So thank you guys for bearing with me here. But it is important because there is a lot going on. We've seen people getting their channels removed, etc. And that's why we built Fandom Pulse. Fandom Pulse right here is the alternative to Kotaku, the alternative to IGN, the alternative to PC Gamer, to Comic Book Resources, where we're not about being the access media. We're just telling the truth in all these things that are happening here. So we appreciate it. It's been going fantastic the last couple of months. Big growth, thanks to readers like you. Now, this is in the description below, and it is our website. We do this full-time without advertising, and that's exactly how we can tell the truth, because we don't have to answer to advertisers or anything like that. You can see I just tell my articles right here like this, and then you get to just read some wonderful stuff. So please check this out. Grab this Substack, sign up in the description below. If you want to support us with a paid membership, it is a great way to support the channel. It's $5 a month, and we do this, like I said, full-time, multiple articles a day. So it's really good stuff for you. So thank you guys for being here and supporting us, and happy 4th of July, everybody. And let's get into the news of what we all got going here with Geo Media selling Kotaku, and a new owner, of course, promising to keep everything the same. And that's what it is. Geo Media announced that it sold its radical leftist anti-reality video game outlet to Kotaku to a European media company called Keliops, I think. The same company, they previously purchased Gizmodo from Geo Media last June. The company's CEO, Jean-Guillaume Claes, promised he plans to retain Kotaku's current editorial staff. Yes, this is not Kotaku being over, it's the same, and even hire more talent, according to a report from Axios. The report noted there will be no immediate strategy shifts in the short term, so they're not looking at doing that right now. And that's exactly why I'm not celebrating this like a lot of people are online. And this is the thing. You go kind of counter-narrative at this point. It's always a dangerous video to make. It's such a weird spot where people want to hear what they want to hear. They want to hear the opinions that they want to hear rather than actually what's going on. And that's why something like Kotaku can exist to begin with, because they tell the little shitlibs out there exactly what they want to hear, even though it's a complete lie half of the time, even though it's stupid half of the time, and even though it's just them going for access, people read it, and this is why they exist. So after purchasing Gizmodo, the monthly audience doubled compared to last June. Total audience has grown 400%, he said. More than half of its revenue comes from affiliate links now, and the rest comes from display ads and branded content. He says, we expect Gizmodo to grow even bigger this year, the next year as well. That's why we wanted to double down on the U.S. and make another significant acquisition. Absolutely wild here. In a post to Geo Media's website, the CEO revealed the company sold off nearly all of its properties. It only has one left, The Root, and they're trying to offload that as well. Geo Media is predominantly owned by a growth equity firm named Great Hill Partners. Given how both private equity and growth equity work, it became clear to our investors that this was time to move on. While the business in general was doing as well or better than the vast majority of its peers, it was clear the hockey stick type growth that was initially planned before COVID and several media recessions and ongoing issues of walled gardens with Google and Meta, oh my gosh, it's getting crazy out there, was not coming in the near future. This, combined with the aforementioned 6 years of ownership, suggested that the time was right for GHP to move along. We will exit having increased shareholder value, a feat that few other companies in our space can claim. So in corporate speak, what he's telling you guys right here is that they bought Kotaku. It did actually make a profit, and Kotaku actually then was sold for a profit. So they actually won all the way around off of this. Believe it or not, that's just kind of how things are going at this juncture. Now, there is a media kind of apocalypse going on. I don't know if you've followed Clownfish TV a lot, but they did a report earlier on this year that they've really changed the algorithm of just what you get when you look at things online. So I'm looking up, say, Vince Vincent D'Onofrio. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to pronounce that. Which is the actor who plays Kingpin this morning, right? And if you go just to all, right, you are looking at stuff and you get into the news and the like. A lot of stuff this is not a good example. Let's go. Kotaku was sold, and you'll see. Why is Google not putting up its AI right now? Usually, it puts up an AI asking about it. You've seen it before. I don't know why I can't get it to work right now. But that AI is causing problems as well, and they're also just making certain websites to the top of the stories and all that. So you see that Axios is the first one, New York Times is the second one. So they promote the ones that are already out there for the access media working on this kind of thing right now. But as they've done this and as the AI has shown up at the top of these Google searches, what's happened is a lot of revenues dropped off because a lot of clicks have dropped off even for the big companies in the main time here. This is why we use Substack again, because in the Substack ecosystem, we don't have to deal with Google. And that's been a big part of things that I've dealt with before, where Google causes a lot of problems, especially if you're telling the truth, if you're going against the corporate narrative and the corporate culture. They don't like that. And so they actually try to suppress you. So being on Substack allows us not to have to deal with that as well, something you should be checking out on that front. But they're actually making money on all this stuff. It's pretty crazy. So he discussed how writers at his outlets push their own political and moral agendas, and this is what Kotaku's done the entire time, and this is what they're going to continue to do through this whole profit and this whole point with this whole change. Often now the writer wants to choose the topics and story angles that match their own specific worldview, a practice that actually works against the very brand building that some would suggest supports such practices. All editorial coverages comes with some level of writer bias, but basic first-day story should be fact-based as possible when the writer does add personal views later in the timeline. That reporting or opinion should be clearly labeled for the reader. It doesn't very often. All too often, we stray from these core practices. Oops, he admits it. And this is as true today as legacy brands as it is in the digital native brands. We certainly saw this up close and personal in the early days of GA Media, when times were even arguments about the core mission of the sites and who was responsible for defining and supporting these missions. And this is the hard truth, guys, is that there's always going to be a bias, no matter what you do. That doesn't exist. This non-bias, this idea that non-bias, just information exists, is false. Even when AI gives it to you, it's got a bias to it, and it sets its little temperature for what the corporation wants you to hear. And so that is something that is existent throughout humanity. It's a good question at this point. It's just, where is your bias? Is it on behalf of good or on behalf of evil? And Kotaku's really just on behalf of evil, as we know. Now, a lot of this stuff right here, not only are they doing that like lefty sort of content with video games, as we know, most of it's a lot of just listicle type articles here. And you could see these listicles, the reason they do these is they stay kind of evergreen. The Independence Day. So penance, like, this is very weird. They're calling like getting video games a penance, like you did something wrong. It's like, what? And 10 more indie games. 10 amazing indie games you've never heard of before. This is the type of stuff that gets like AI generated right here. 9 signs the MCU has lost its way. Okay. Oh, and you get a slideshow now. They like these slideshows now. And so here's these slideshows right here. Oh my gosh. These are just articles that are really not helpful for anybody at this juncture. Like I said, AI can write a lot of this stuff, which is why it's going on at this point. And we're not going to see much of a change here. This is Spider-Gwen's new comics already has fans reeling, and it's not even out yet. I'll cover that on my comic channel later today, because you should be reeling about what's going on. And this is it. It's just promoting the corporate content over and over and over again, right? 4 cool games we're declaring independence with. Look at all these lists. None of this stuff is useful information whatsoever at this juncture, and that's exactly what they're doing. But that's where the internet's like really dropping to the lowest common denominator at this juncture. That is what Kotaku is, and it's not going to change. It's not going to get better. It's not going to help anything on that level, and of course, they're not going to be changing their news strategy whatsoever, because they are profitable, and they do have a sort of group that they tell that group what they want to hear, and that group's just going to keep tuning in, and that's what's going to happen as this rolls along. So I don't celebrate this as a victory at all. It seems like they're going to be getting bigger, not smaller. And they're really kind of functionally useless for any normal person. They talked about Gizmodo, too. Gizmodo's the exact same thing. It's really ridiculous. You're looking at what's going on. OpenAI hits the panic button. The great EV fire sale is about to begin. They've turned into a full political website here. I didn't even realize that at this juncture. I thought they were a tech website, but not really so much. Interesting stuff. So we are the alternative guys to the mainstream media. Really appreciate you being here and supporting Fandom Pulse. Get on here on Substack. Like I said, we don't have to deal with any of that, like Google search algorithms or any of that crap that these companies actually thrive on. They try to build their things called search engine optimization so that their stuff just comes at the top of Google when you search certain topics, and that's what they're trying to build there. We're doing something completely different. We really appreciate you all for reading. Happy Independence Day. Not Independence Day, but Independence Day. And appreciate you guys being here again. Like I said, I say that a lot, but I do. And thanks, guys, for the concern over the last couple of days. Yeah, like I said, I was just on vacation, and I'm going to head back to it now. So thanks. I'll just end the video. All right.